Lantern Valley Studios recap, June 1st, 2022.
This is a touch early.
Today we're filming a touch early, yeah.
May
May.
was first month of World 18.
Yeah.
Sci-fi. We've got a few sci-fi things going on.
And magic. Sci-fi magic.
Yeah. Science fantasy.
So we did that, which we've been outlining, and it's coming along. Feels like we've been organizing into a chronological order everything we have, which hasn't been a lot because it's only been half a month.
So I guess the main thing is,
but it still feels like a lot.
With the other worlds that we've randomized, we've content spammed until we had a huge chunk of thousands of ideas. And then once it gets to that point, I have to sit there and somehow weave through it and organize it all and mesh it into a linear thing in the story it's supposed to be. So like, the characters are going to this spot and that spot and this spot. Those notes end up all over the place because we just talked about them, or I just came up with ideas and I just put them in files, and then they're a disaster. And then I have to actually put them, all of the stuff that involves there from all the files into one spot. So it's that thing, and then do the same to each location until the story is actually a cohesive line. This time, before we have any massive pile of stuff, we are already in the process of, let's put it all in order so when we come up with an idea, I can put it directly where it's supposed to be. So yeah, we've done that. There's only like 10,000 words or something for the story, and we're already putting it in order. 10,000 words is funny. It sounds like a lot, but it's like an outline and notes. Most of the stories have like many documents of thousands of words. In other news, I redid the synopsis to World 9, Crushed by Ruckus in the Current, and it's already 162,000 words, and according to the new synopsis, it's on target to hit like 230,000 words or something.
One novel.
One big epic standalone slice of life adventure.
One of 30.
But a lot of that is just due to the amount of words, like the massive quantity of words that it takes to describe.
Obviously.
Yeah, to describe like a simple thing, like just a small setting or something. So it's not like any of the words are going to waste. It's just, there's no shortcuts. Like a bearded guy with a hat waving a stick throws a ball made of fire. You just call that a wizard. When there's no equivalent that you can just shortcut to wizard. And I have to use all the words instead and say bearded guy with a hat and waving a stick around. Like it just takes a lot more. So because of our worlds being so strange and weird and out there, it naturally makes sense that books are going to be big. Mm-hmm. Even if you made a very simple story and nothing happened, you'd still end up with twice as many words as normal stories because where the thing is. So yeah.
Yeah, so World 9 is on its way, and now we've taken, World 9 is the closest to completion, so we've taken versions of outlines we've done for other worlds, and now taking World 9 and putting it back, or into an outline in a new way, to then rewrite the book, and James is talking about possibly just having the chapters he's written on the side screen and then just rewriting it verbatim or whatever.
Just redraft everything.
Well, not verbatim, but
it might be
instead of like
better.
Oh, that word's good, get rid of this, just actually rewrite it from scratch.
What does verbatim mean?
Verbatim actually means directly, which it's not exactly what the right thing to say here is. Yeah.
Yeah, and then just trying to do it with new stories so that they don't end up in the chaos like World 9, World 17, and World 23 happened, because all three of those books are 100,000 word disasters that I've had to redo a bunch, and they're all going to end up like Crushed by Ruckus in the Current eventually. Huge, but actually a very cohesive story. Unlike the chaos that, because I didn't plan it well, now that I've done enough that I know how to actually make a decent plan for a story, and not like a super detailed plan or anything, but least organized my stuff enough that I can sit down and write the book well the first time, and not have to redo everything. Right?
The other thing we've been working on is making blurbs, so simple 100-word paragraphs for all the stories that we haven't done yet.
So 30 of those.
And so when we did choose World 18, the first thing we did was come up with the paragraph, 100 words of what is this story, before we even started looking at it.
More concise premise that hones down why is it that we are writing this story, what is it really about, like the through line, and then yeah,
we have a little list of pointers that is helping us to write those. That's like, what is the status quo, what is the, who's the main character, what is the kind of setting, there's
just things to put into a little snippet that could be used on maybe a back of the book or something one day. And then in June, we are returning to World 18, continuing with that, the second month of that, and returning to the last month of World 23. So, going back to 2 stories that are set in space.
Mm-hmm. Lots
of space and galaxies and planet hopping and stuff like that. Yeah, that's neat. It'll be a purely sci-fi month. Yeah.
And then you'll be working on World 9 as well.
And World 5. And quite a bit of other stuff. I've got to do I'm doing literally 10 books at once right now. 11? I'm doing 11 books at once right now. Literally all of them at once, every single day, I make a note in 11 different books every single day. And this has been the case for a month now. It was 10 books for the last 2 months. It was 9 books in the last 6 months. So yeah, every single day I do something in 11 different stories. I don't know how I'm going to keep it all organized because it's not right now. It's a disaster. And it's going to take so long to get any of them organized. But I'm just going to keep at it. It'll work. Yeah. But they're all awesome. They're all... And
that's all. So you can watch us work on the stories in the behind the scenes packages, and we'll see you next month.